Good evening and welcome to the Commission on Disabilities June 13th meeting. If you could please silence all electronic devices at this time. If we could please stand for the saluted flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, I just want to send out my heartfelt condolences and well wishes to the families of the devastating fires on Taft Street this morning. Luckily, everybody made it out okay. Joe Gravelisi, who is the moderator of our meetings from the mayor's office, is not in attendance tonight because he's helping to find some living arrangements for the families. So I will do my best on filling his shoes and moderating this meeting. At this time, I am going to do a roll call of the members. David Hesse, absent. Paul Mazzoni. Present. Enza Goodwin.
Present.
Michelle DeBellis.
Present.
Brian Arcero. Absent. Javi Corin. Javi? Javi?
Yeah.
Present? He's present via teleconference. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And as the co-chair, Ralph DeChico, I am present. Okay. The first item on the agenda is we are going to have a presentation by Jay Mazzola from Metro North Regional Emergency Communications Center. And he'll discuss the 911 disability indicator forms for all Revere residents. Mr. Mazzola, if you would please come to the podium and just state your name and just push the button. Greatly appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Jay Mazzola, and I'm the operations supervisor for the Revere 911 Dispatch Center. Just to let everyone know that we have, the state has 911 disability forms, and it's a volunteer form to be filled out by anyone in the city that has any kind of disabilities, mobility, hearing impaired, whatever. This form is should be filled out by the owner of the home and sent back to the rec center after they sign it, and we'll submit it to the state. So if anyone that has a landline that dials 911, it will come up and indicate to the dispatcher if they have any kind of disabilities. It will help us as first responders. We can tell the first responders, you know, any kind of indicators, any kind of indicators that they have. So these forms, I believe it's on your website also.
Yes, it's currently on the Disabilities website on the City of Revere homepage. I have it on there with some instructions, and also the Commission's phone number is there if there's any questions.
Yeah, and again, it's very helpful to any individual. And if they move or if they change their number of the phone, a new form has to be filled out.
Okay.
But again, it's only applicable for landline phones, not cell phones.
Not cell phones.
Right.
Okay. Any members have any questions? Anyone in the audience have any questions? Have you received any as of yet? I haven't gotten any.
No.
Okay.
I have not received any, because once it comes in the office, we go over it and sign it and send them in.
Okay.
I haven't received any yet.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time in coming up and explaining that for us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The next item on the agenda is a presentation by, I have Lisa Connors from Till, and I'm not sure, Alan White. If you could please come to the podium and just push the button and state your name.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Connor, and I work for Till Incorporated. Till is toward independent learning and living. It's a nonprofit human services agency established in 1980 with a mission to create community-based residential, vocational, and support services to help people reach their full potential, and attain an optimal quality of life. My name's Lisa Connor. I am the Autism Services Coordinator for TIL's Autism Support Center. I also oversee the Autism Waiver Program, which is a program run through the Department of Developmental Services for children ages 3 through 9. Along with my colleague, Alan White, we will be presenting TIL's Spectrum Services, quality services across the lifespan and across the autism spectrum for children, teens, and individuals with autism spectrum disorder. So just slide 1. Slide 1 is up. Okay. So just going through that, anyone can come to TIL. We are one of the 7 autism support centers in Massachusetts. We serve the cities and towns within Boston and Greater Boston, including Revere, Chelsea, Winthrop, and some other outer-lying towns. Our services can run from 0 to 22 plus, and we will go through that with you this evening quickly. On to the second slide. It's just a slide of our service area, and the area in blue, it may be hard to see, is for autism support services. Excuse me, I back up to the previous slide. Again, we offer comprehensive programs and a wide range of resources for persons with ASD and support for their families. So within that, we have the Autism Support Center, Autism Waiver Program. We offer applied behavioral analysis services, in-home behavioral support services for families under the Mass Health CBHI program. In addition to the program for children and adolescents, we have the Transition and Adult Services, a social connection program, and also a clinical support services for children and adults. It's for mental health services, and also we have a mobile team that will go out to families in need of such services. On to the slide 3. This is our map, our area that's covered in blue, that is covered under the Autism Support Services. Coming on to slide 4, these are the core of the programs of the Autism Support Center. TIL has neighborhood groups, and those are neighborhood support groups for families and parents that can come to the support groups. We do all kinds of things. We're there for support. We'll bring in different speakers on different topics. It's really a great opportunity for families to come out, have a night of respite, learn more about the services they can get and how to care for their child or adolescent with autism spectrum disorder. Many times they're in the way of a dinner, a lunch, or a coffee hour. We even have a program where one of the teachers in an East Boston school will actually present at lunch hour for parents of her students. So we are also in partnership with Boston Medical Center's Plan Group, Parent Leadership Autism Network. It's a consortium of parents and people from BMC's autism program. They offer mentoring, they offer training, a parent training program, a wonderful program. TIL provides support for that program. We sponsor lunches for them to get together to be able to network and get more information about caring for their child on the autism spectrum. We have a program for older kids, social skills in the city for teens and above. We have a special events and vacation program. We have a annual Christmas party where families can come and bring their children. We have different events, summer events, vacation week events. Most of the events are free. Many of them have a very small copay required, and the way parents can get in on that is to register their child through our website for the program. We also have the Autism Waiver Program, which I mentioned is a DDS program that comes out once a year. It's for kiddos ages 3 through 9, and it's really, the premise behind that is to get children when they're young and give them, they have extra supports and services that they can get if they're selected. It is a lottery-based program. And finally, the last program under the Autism Support Center would be the Autism Applied Behavioral Analysis Program, which means that if they come to TIL, we can sign them up for this program to have a therapist come out and provide ABA, which is a very research-based, evidence-based protocol to help children with autism reach their goals. On the next slide, page 5, is a little bit of a closer slide to talk about the areas within Boston, East Boston and Revere that we serve. So it's a very highly dense area, dense population, highly diverse. And then on to slide 6. These are just pictures, descriptions of some of the events. We have a wonderful holiday party. Again, Santa comes, we have music, we have gifts, and we have a lot of people from the community donate their time and services. We also have, this is another program through the Trace Center. It could be, an after-school program or a social skills program. The next slide, slide 7, is a program for teens, social skills in the city, where kids, they all meet at the Boston Common. They learn to take the T. They learn money management. They learn how to use, social skills. It's moderated and facilitated by a couple of BU volunteers, and it is a wonderful program. The last slide number 8, talks about, this is just a good shot of everyone at a social skills in the city event. As we come to slide 9, this is just an example of the applied behavioral analysis services in motion. Generally in this program, it's overseen by a therapist, a senior level therapist who writes the program for the child, and then a direct support worker will work one-to-one with the child in the home or out in the community to help the child achieve the goals that they have set in conjunction with the senior level therapist. So on slide 10, TIL also has a wonderful clinical support services clinic called Stratus. It is located in our Dedham offices. We encourage families, parents of children with special needs, not just autism. We have all kinds of clients, individuals, their families that come to get services for mental health. A unique proposition about Stratus is that it is also a mobile clinic. Clinicians will go out and see their clients as needed. And just on to page 11, talking about Stratus. It's a full-service mental health clinic offering quality behavioral health and counseling services. You can schedule an individual or group supervision. There are ongoing trainings. Stratus also will do guardianship. They get involved in helping families prepare for guardianship as well. And so slide 12 would talk about the current outreach area. So again, focused on the TIL area of central Boston, but again, reaching out on those outer line communities, 128, 95, and beyond. And so that is it for autism, the Autism Support Center. And so now I'd like to turn the presentation over to my colleague, Alan White, the Director of TIL Residential Alternatives. Do you want to keep that?
Yep, thank you. Thank you. I'm Alan White. I've been working for TIL for 33 years. Our first residential program actually was in Revere in 1980, so it is dear to our hearts. I'm going to talk today about adult services for people on the autism spectrum. We provide many different services. to all types of disabilities and individuals from the age of 22, and our oldest individual in the residence is 92. So we have a lot of longevity. We're going to start with just going to some of the slides. As Lisa said, we started age 3 working with individuals with autism. And through the center, they have a lot of opportunities to connect with other people and obtain resources for services. Lisa and I got more involved recently because the Department of Developmental Services has started to provide support services for people on the autism spectrum at the age of 18 rather than the traditional age of 22. The reason for that is because of the autism spectrum, we have many people who do not have a cognitive disability, but they have are able to complete high school, get their diplomas, pass their MCAS, and then graduate with their class at the age of 18. So we have expanded that service to work with the center, the Autism Center, to make sure that we can transition them smoothly into the adult services. So the first, if you go to slide 15, that is our catchment area for the services that I provide. We're basically within the 495 belt. We provide services as far north as Salisbury Beach. We also have services in New Hampshire for people of all types of disabilities, but our main focus has really been getting autism services up and running now that the department and the state has really looked at providing those support services. Go to the next slide, please. So part of what I do is help families create residential possibilities. Start thinking out of the box for people on the spectrum and not look at really traditional group homes. They tend to work for some people, but there is a broad spectrum of needs and support needs for people on the spectrum. So we try to really work with families to create different types of living situations that they feel that they have control of what the service looks like. On slide 17, we have residential support options. So I just thought I'd go through quickly. TIL currently runs 53 traditional group homes for people with many types of disabilities. However, it tends to get rolled into cognitive disabilities, even though they may have another diagnosis of autism. So we're trying to expand on those and provide training for people to work better with people on the spectrum. We also have shared living, which we have a total of 51 placements in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And these are in which we pair individuals with a family or a provider, mentor, instructor, and create a living situation so they can really work together and make that happen. We have many situations like this. Some of them have been in existence for over 30 years with the same people living together, and people make a great deal of progress. Our creative living options has been something that TIL has developed through talking with families. Most of these were situations in which families were paying privately for these situations and hiring TIL to develop these programs. However, after many years, we're able to work with different state funding sources to alleviate the financial burden for families. So our latest program just opened up in July in Watertown, in which we have 5 individuals, 3 men and 2 women, living together who are on the autism spectrum. And we're creating the environment specifically to meet their needs. The last one is micro apartments, and we have created 4 micro apartments, efficiency apartments, because one of the things that we're finding is that many people on the autism spectrum don't have the long history of special education, and they've many times gone through regular schools, so there's not a lot of what skills people have. So we've created this in partnership with the Department of Developmental Services to be able to really assess those skills and have that assessment be in an independent situation, environment that is different than their family's home, to get a real true picture of what their independent skills are. This is only a transitional program in which they can stay up to 18 months, but during that time period, we hope that the Department of Developmental Services will really have an accurate picture of what services are needed. If we can go to the next slide. The individual home supports is the model of service right now that people on the spectrum are eligible for through any of the state departments. So they actually are not eligible for residential services. However, the individual home community supports is something that can be utilized in one of the independent group situations, the creative living options I was talking about, in which those can help defray the costs of the staffing support someone may need to be able to live independently. So people are getting, they can have it, through the department. People can pay privately, or it can be a combination of that. So what we're really looking at is how to best bring those resources together to bring a full program that will be beneficial for people. So, DDS, the department, has really been working hard with us to really try to think out of the box and think of other options, because they are really struggling with the fact that they work with people with developmental disabilities, and this is a very unique population. If we can move on, there's some pictures here. This was our first creative living option home that actually was purchased initially by a group of 8 families. This home has been in operation for 26 years. And people have, from this home, we've actually had 2 people get married and move on. Many of them have moved to independent living situations. We have a continuum of services. This house has staffing at all times. And we then, if we can go next, each of the homes are actually staffed based on the needs of the program. This actually is the home in Revere. In Quincy. It's actually 2 family. There's 3 men who live on the first floor and 2 on the second. And they have really worked hard to get to this point because the staffing has been reduced. Each person needs to develop a skill level before they can move to a next situation. If we can go to the next. This is a home in Lexington. All of these are different. This one actually, one family actually owns the home and is offering it to 4 other individuals, 2 who are on the autism spectrum. In order for it to be affordable, the family does not charge any rent to any of the other individuals who live there. So it really is cutting down the cost. It's in Lexington Center, and it's a great location. Next. This is our latest home, the one that I was talking about in Watertown, in which there's 5 individuals on the spectrum who are living in that house. All the families have lived in the Newton, Watertown area, so they wanted their children to also live in that area because they were familiar with it. Next one. For most of the individuals, I serve about 94 people with all levels of independence. This is a golden ticket for everyone. We own an apartment building that has 8 apartments. It's on Commonwealth Avenue, right in Brighton. The train stops outside our front door. And so we have 2 3-bedroom apartments and 4 1-bedroom apartments. And we also have a live-in building manager who is available throughout the night, and we have on call 24 hours a day. This, for 16 people who live here, we have only 15 hours of staffing for the week. So they've reached that level of independence. If we can just, this one will be where our micro apartments are. It's part of an old convent in Chelsea. We have an 8-bed emergency respite center on the first floor, and the apartments will be on the second floor. So we will have a lot of support. We're looking at talking about different types of day services as well for that site, because there's plenty of space. This is also our latest project. It's an integrated community building. It is in Charlestown, right next to Bunker Hill Community College. There's 61 affordable housing units in the building. It will have retail space. It has a 5-bedroom group home also in the building. So it's really integrated completely with all services. This is also our home in Carlisle. It was designed as a competition for an architectural award. It's actually 2 homes on the same property. One is for people who are on the spectrum and cognitive disabilities. The other is with acquired brain injury. Both homes each have 4 people living in them. So that's my information. I have some pamphlets as well. There's just one other quick thing, because to the next slide, please. Springboard Social Club, I'm going to only quickly say this because it is for people with learning disabilities and high-functioning autism. It has 150 members, in which families started it about 25 years ago because there was nothing for them. They asked us to take it over 12 years ago. We've grown it into the point where we have 150 members, and that provide social opportunities that they don't typically have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any members of the commission have any questions? Enza?
I don't have a question, but I'm wondering, is it possible to maybe get the website information posted on the disability page, so that if families at home watching this right now, they could peruse the site on their own and maybe perhaps register for information? Is that possible?
Yeah, I can add a link right to our page. Would just need that link just sent right to me, and then I could add it to it.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Again, I thank you for your time. Wonderful presentation. It's a very good cause, and very valuable information for people of our community. Thank you. Thank you. Next order is item number 3. It's just an update regarding the Commission on Disabilities State ADA Planning Grant. I just wanted to update you on this. Myself and Julie Demaro have been working on getting this finalized, getting all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and within the next few days, we should be submitting it and give you a little bit of a background as to what this planning grant is for. We're applying for basically it's a $125,000 planning grant from the state. And basically what it entails, if we're awarded, what the funds will be using for is for self-awareness and transition plan criteria for people in the committee seeking professional development and strengthening our board's knowledge and effectiveness, since our commission has been idle for years, and we've just been reestablished in 2017. We've been actively responding to some of the needs of the residents in our city and trying to meet the issues the best we can. Basically, what we've been working with Healthy Community Initiatives and Community Development Office to address the residents with disabilities issues as they arise, but we want to try and become proactive and try and find issues before they come up, to try and be proactive on it so that we could be in the forefront of it, so that we can try and lessen any problems that could be out there before they come about. Some information that I have accumulated that I wanted to pass on, some statistics that I've been able to find out with doing some research as of some censuses that have been out there. That was a 5-year study from 2011 to 2015 as of our resident population at that point that was done through the country. At that point, population was 52,872, and with that total population, it was estimated at 7,380 people had some form of a disability in the city of Revere, and that was with a 90% confidence level, is what they have. I'm sure the next one will be coming out, should be 2012 to 2016, so I'll be looking for that one, and I can update people of the community plus the commission. But that's an astronomical number, 7,300, and that goes from age 2 to infinity, age 2-year-olds in any form of disability. So it's quite a lot of residents in our community with some form of a disability. And I have it broken down by what types of disabilities they are. So I have all that statistics. So if anybody would like that, I can share it with them on the commission. I don't know if anybody has any questions on that. Okay. Next item on the agenda is going to be an update of city events for June. I'm going to ask Secretary Enza Goodwin to update us on that.
So next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, Revere Recreation is going to be hosting a soccer game for children with special needs ages 5 and up, and that will be taking place at the Oak Island Turf Field. This is a free event sponsored by Revere Recreation, and adjacent to the soccer field is also a nice enclosed playground, so we're hoping that families will come out on the 21st to this free event. There's more information available on the Revere Rec website, or you could stop in or give them a call. We are still holding our Monday night weekly playgroup at the Revere Rec, and we're hoping to stay there throughout the summer. So again, our playgroup takes place on Monday nights from 6 to 7:30, and the cost is only $5 per child. And that includes a snack and a drink, and it gives kids an opportunity to play together. And then finally, I'd like to take a moment to thank Dr. Vidala from Revere Public Schools. He's in the process of organizing, as part of our children's summer school program at the Beachmont, a program that will run from 12 to 2 during the 22 days of our summer school program, again, for children with special needs, and that is being offered through Revere Public Schools.
The only other thing that I would just add to the city events is that I spoke to the director of the CPAC. There is no meeting for June, July, and August, and that they will restart those meetings again up in September. At this time, item number 5 is communications, and I did not have anything in my mailbox from communications, and with Joe having the emergency to do that, so I'm not sure if any communications were out there. So we'll just table that, and we'll move on to item number 6, any old business. If any members have any old business that they'd like to discuss, you can bring it up at this time. Okay. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 7, any late items. Anybody have anything they'd like to discuss that's not on the agenda? I just have a couple of things that I wanted to mention, that the handicap accessible beds are now available at the new Gibson Park Community Gardens. If anyone is in need of a handicap accessible bed and is interested, they could contact Ellie Baker at the Revere Revere neighborhood organizer at ebaker@revere.org, and she can give you some more information on that. And one other thing that I would like to bring on late items is that I have recently been receiving quite a few phone calls from some elderly and disabled seniors in regards to the senior center handicap accessible bathroom on the first floor being locked. And I wanted to see if I could make a motion that we could possibly send the communication to both the Director of Elder Services and the Mayor's Office to address this for us and see if we can get some type of a determination. First of all, if this is happening and why it is happening, because if this is happening, it is against ADA regulations that a handicap accessible bathroom is being locked for any reason because it's supposed to be open, regardless of any circumstance. So I would like to make a motion if I could have a first and a second on that. Mr. Mazzoni seconds that. Enza, do you think you'd be able to draft a communication on that? And we can address it to both the mayor's office and the director of the senior center? Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have any late items? Okay. Moving on to the open forum. If there are any residents with any ongoing issues or any feedback, please approach the podium and put the mic on and state your name and address for the record.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rocco Falzoni, and I live on 55 Toscano Ave, Revere. Before I get into my story about the illegal sidewalk, there's a few questions I'd like to ask the panel as one body. I can get some answers. This is the third time I've been up here, and I've been hearing people coming in a nonprofit this, nonprofit that. The Commission on Disabilities is Revere liaison for the state of Massachusetts, where these people come up here and tell their plight, what they've accomplished and what's going on what's on their agenda. I don't understand. Maybe I'm even to the fact of not coming into Commissions on Disability is telling me that there's problems in the city of Revere. People are coming in when I'm there, telling me stories about what they have done over 30 years, the homes for getting these people, you know. I understand that. So as one body, can somebody explain to me what nonprofit situations in the city as this? And is Revere a liaison for the state of Massachusetts?
Actually, for the edification of tonight's speakers, I would pass this on to Enza. But as of most of the speakers that we've had up here, we've asked them to come here. They've not approached us. We've asked them so that residents of the city with disabilities know what's out there for them, for any assistance that they may need. That as a city or town that we can't offer them, that there are agencies out there that can.
I understood. So, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I think you said what I was going to say. So the group that came out here tonight handles our area, providing services for children with autism and special needs.
I understood that.
And so Michelle and I both have a child who has autism, and we thought it would be nice if they could come out and let the community know what's available, because oftentimes we don't know what's available.
I see.
So to be able to know that we can go to their website or give them a call, and to know that we could get more for our child, at the end, that's our end goal, is to do whatever we can for our children.
Understood. God bless you. Now, another point taken, hearing their plea, like, I get scared when I hear nonprofit, what's going on. Eventually, when someone says it's a nonprofit going on, behind the scenes from this nonprofit, it's going into thousands and thousands of dollars, unbeknownst to the public. That was my biggest problem. Commission on Disability on the city of Revere, I would think, as one body, you would concentrate on the problems in the city of Revere. You'd be in the plight where sharing their stories and the situation you guys are in, whatever they have for news is going to help you as well as everybody else in the city of Revere. I do understand that now, where it was explained to me. So being the fact where I'm ignorant to the fact of coming up and not knowing as far as disabilities, what situations going on. But my plight is where the third time I'm coming up here, Joe's not here, so I do understand that. Another situation where I don't understand, like I presented my problem to you guys as one body, and you reverse it to Joe. Now, is Joe the liaison for the mayor's office? And whatever happens here, he relates to the mayor, and the mayor gets back to you guys? And
What actually happens is Joe is helping us as we're
I heard
revamping the commission, and he's helping us run the meetings, and anything
Okay.
that's discussed here that is part of the commission and outside the commission, he relays it back to the mayor's office. And there is a concern because of your issue, thinking of the people that are disabled, that walking with the
Yes,
sidewalks.
yes.
So it's not falling on deaf ears, it is being addressed.
Okay.
And things do take time, as I'm learning. Issues are getting resolved, but it just takes time. Funding has to become available, and things will get time, and we just ask for everybody's patience. But that's basically, it's a place where you can address the issues, and what we can do is, when it has attached with the disability issue to it, we make sure that it's a place for you to voice it, and that it will get followed through Joe at this point, and it's in the mayor's office.
so it's not going on deaf ears?
It is definitely not going on deaf ears.
Great. Another point of interest that I have, being here for 40 plus years in the city of Revere, where I do live, there's questions about, I'm going to throw something at the young ladies, and let me see what your thoughts are. You're coming down, I live in West Revere. Suppose, I'm not saying that West Revere is top shelf, it's compared to Shirley Ave. As one group has a disability, Revere is known to have a lot of problems over the years that I've been here. And when I hear these people coming up here, which you explained to me, so I do understand that part of it. But the other issue I have is where grants are coming up like this. You had mentioned about a grant. Is this federal money?
This is the grant that we are applying for. I will give you the exact, let me open it back up. I don't want to mislead you because I've been doing so many different, it's a municipal ADA grant, municipal, so it's from the state.
It's coming from the state.
It's coming from the state
So-
that we apply for.
So this is coming from the state. It's
Yes.
not coming out of Revere taxpayers.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
now
no,
I can
no,
go
no.
home and
No,
sleep
it's a
tonight.
municipal
Okay,
ADA grant
that's
from the
fine.
state.
Thank you.
Yep.
Another, before I leave, let's say I want to throw something, I'm not trying to put you guys in a situation where I don't want to isolate the board, but I do have to say this to you. Are you familiar with Toscano Ave, Geneva Ave? You're coming down Geneva, you take a right coming down Toscano, and you're wheeling your baby in a carriage, and you can't get on the sidewalk because there's no sidewalk, it's 21 inches. Or you have somebody coming down in a wheelchair, they have to walk out in the street. My point is, where the board was talking about the 7 streets in Revere where you're questioning the Revere Police Department if it's illegal to park cars on the sidewalk because the streets are small. Now, my idea with that is, Commission on Disabilities, in my opinion, as one board, has more power than any police station. Look, I have to say let me say what I have to say. Being disabilities on people that have problems, again, you guys would have more power, in my opinion, over the police department, over the Board of Health. Board of Health in Revere has issues. The police department has their own problems. The commissions on disabilities are trying to you're trying to get established as well-known in a nice department. But I see what's going on, and it's like being involved with city for a lot of years, and it's just coming up, and I'm saying to myself, got to be more assertive, if that's the right word, if you will. And
What we
Am I
can do
wrong?
by the statutes from the state as a commission on disability, not only in Revere, but other communities and municipalities, is we can make suggestions and offer opinions to other departments and boards within a city or municipality or a town in Massachusetts. We don't have jurisdiction or the final say. That's through the state of Massachusetts general laws. We're here basically to just make suggestions and ask them to take a look at certain circumstances. And that's what we're trying to do. Like with the parking, we sent a letter to the Traffic Commission to have them take a look at it, which they are. It's in the Traffic Commission's hands right now. We sent the communication to them, and I know they've been having discussions and meetings on that. But that's our role as a commission. We're not a governing body. That's why we're a commission. So we're not a governing body. We're not like the city council. We're just not a governing body. I hope that answers some of the questions for you.
Another point before I go. Is there a commission on disabilities in Boston? Boston has their own?
Yes, every city and town has a commission on disabilities, whether it's active or not. I can't answer that. Most of them are, but every city and town can. What I should say is they can have a commission on disabilities. Boston does have a commission on disabilities. They have a website. Basically, what you can do is you can go to any city or town's website in the area, and you could look on their website and see if they have a commission on disabilities. And I believe that Lynn may not, because I've been getting some phone calls from Lynn for some questions from some residents in Lynn, but I'm not positive. I haven't taken a look at the Lynn's website.
Being part of the audience here. Being part of the, can you hear me? Being part of the audience here, like if 5 people coming up here and they're telling their story, are we allowed to speak? Oh, yeah. Okay, I just want to know for sure. When is the next meeting?
Right after we finish this for the open forum, we're going to discuss that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for listening. And again,
Thank
God bless
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else wanted to have any discussions or any comments? Okay, before we adjourn, I had a couple of suggestions for the next meeting, which would have been scheduled for the second Tuesday in July. But I wanted to make a suggestion that due to a lot of vacation time and being July, I'd like to see if I could have a meeting pushed to the August 8th, which is the second Tuesday in August. If I could have someone make a motion on that and then second it. Okay. So our next meeting is going to be Tuesday, August 8th at 6 p.m. And that will conclude our meeting for Tuesday in June. See, I'm losing track of time. June 13th. I can't believe it's June already. Thank you, and I just wanted to wish everyone, all our residents, a happy 4th of July, and please be safe. And again, we wish all our prayers and sympathies to the residents of Taft Street for the devastating fire this morning. Good night.